Well, welcome to the first day of school. FP1 here in St. Petersburg, Florida for the season opening race of the NTT IndyCar Series. We're hanging out here in the midway of the track, I guess you could say. Albert Whitted Airport, I guess is the correct term. I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad IndyCar's back. The off season is too long. So we have been pounding the pavement today. You've probably already seen it, if not on my channel, on several Formula One outlets at this point. We had a great interview with Mario Andretti earlier today, and there was an incredible confirmation that Mario gave us, I guess it's an exclusive because I Googled it several times before I said that we had an exclusive, and no, Renault will power the Andretti Global Formula One team in 2024. Now, I want to give you a clip of that. The full interview will be on Sunday morning, so stay tuned for that. It's about 20 minutes of talking with one of the greatest American race car drivers of all time.
So we have a formal agreement now on the engine supplier, and then it's out there, and so it's going to be Renault, and where I'm allowed to say it now, and so. There were a lot of speculation, even from Toto Wolff, that he was concerned about potentially being Ferrari, where Ferrari would have, more votes than he would have, so on and so forth. So there's, a lot of steps to take here, and I understand that. It's a huge undertaking, but we're ready for it. We have incredible partners, on our side, Michael does. And we're there for the duration, it's, let's face it, myself and, I've been at it, for 67 years now, so we know what goes on.
So we weren't just talking to Mario today. We obviously got to participate in the IndyCar bullpen, which is a great way for everybody to get up to speed with the drivers from the media side of things. And I try always, when I'm in the bullpen, I obviously ask specific questions for drivers, but I also try to have one question that I ask all the drivers. And this week, it was a pretty easy question, and that question was, hey, when you're getting on the plane after the St. Petersburg Grand Prix, what is going to make you smile on the way home? What kind of a result will be best for you? And this is what a few of the drivers had to say.
That's a good question. I don't know. This is kind of like the baseline for the year, I think, to understand what we can do. If I judge from the testing we did at Sebring and, being a one-car team, and rookie driver, I think if we're into the top 15 in qualifying, there's room to work. So I would like to achieve like the fast 12 and then go from there. Obviously it can be quite a big ask, or it could be achievable, depending on my talent and everything. But I would always love to be shooting for the podiums and stuff, but it's a different year. We've got to be realistic in some aspects. But if we don't achieve that here, I think there'll definitely be some places where we can make it work for sure.
I mean, honestly, I'm never too happy unless I win. That's the ugly truth. But I think if you leave here with a top 5, you're in good condition for the rest of the season. You don't want to start this race in the back. That's the worst, to catch up all the year and have a DNF here in St. Pete. So I mean, something like that would be good enough. There's no pressure to win the first race. But then again, if you're up there and you have the chance, I mean, we're going to go for it. So as I say, I think we'll know more this afternoon. What expectations we can have.
I think if we can be. If we execute and we can be in the top 10, I'll be very happy with that to start off.
No, result is not really my concern right now. I'm focused on execution and mostly personal performance. Obviously, there's my personal performance, there's my team personal performance. There are things I can't control, and I don't want to influence my personal performance with what I can control. So as long as I do my personal performance right, then I'll be happy and satisfied, and then I'll work with the team, make sure that we bring 100% next time. But that's what you should be doing if you don't want to have issues up there.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, if we could just get away with finishing in the top 10, that would be awesome. Because I think I want to start on that end and just be better than where we were last year. Because I don't know yet, but after qualifying, I'll let you know. Because I want to win, and that would be awesome. But it's going to be pretty hard to beat Colton here, and Colton's pretty good, and so we'll see.
I think cracking in the top 15 for the first time would be a great way to start the year.
Oh man, with another win, number 4 would be just perfect for the starting of the season.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're pretty good at winning 4 times, right?
We got a match Indianapolis.
So now you've heard from the drivers what they hoped to accomplish, or perhaps hoped to not say that they wanted to accomplish this weekend, and now we get some real results. On the top of the board, Romain Grosjean for Andretti Autosport. I will tell you, man, that is a statement. That is a very strong statement. 1/10 of a second ahead of Colton Herta, the defending champion of the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. Will Power in third. He's always so strong on these street courses, and hopefully that's a sign of a good season for Will. Simon Pagenaud, if you watched my testing coverage, you knew that Simon Pagenaud was going to be strong. The Andretti dampers, best on the streets courses, those shocks, I guess you could say in layman's terms, and we're going to be talking a lot about Andretti cars at the top of the board. Graham Rahal in 5th, Alexander Rossi in 6th, just a little bit behind Colton and Romain. Jack Harvey, Scott McLaughlin, Rinus VeeKay, Dave Malukas. So there's some interesting things to talk about there. Jack Harvey, if you haven't seen already, has a big Mountain Dew logo on the side of his car. He's keeping pace with his teammate Graham Rahal. Scott McLaughlin, second fastest of the Penske drivers. Rinus VeeKay actually spent all the offseason reworking the Ed Carpenter setups, and it seems to be paying off right now in the top 10. Dave Malukas, that was a flyer right at the end of the day. Elio Castroneves, again, another driver with the Andretti Autosport shock package. Kyle Kirkwood, I told you he'd be impressive. He was. AJ Foyt Racing up to 12th on the board. Devlin DeFrancesco, rookie. Slowest of the Andretti Autosport brigade, but that's 13th overall on the board. Joseph Newgarden in 14th. Marcus Ericsson for Ganassi in 15th. Felix Rosenquist is the fastest of the Arrow McLaren SP drivers, and he really struggled today. In fact, Arrow McLaren really struggled today. Alex Palou, defending series champion, down in 17th spot. Takuma Sato in 18th. Scott Dixon in 19th. Pato O'Ward in 20th. This is quite interesting, some of the names that we're seeing at the bottom of the board. 21st, Connor Daly, a revitalized Ed Carpenter Racing team with that new sponsor, BitNile. Callum Ilott, who you heard from earlier today, rookie driver on a one-car team. That's an uphill battle. Dalton Kellett, Jimmy Johnson, who had a little bit of an off during the practice session and actually was 20th fastest for a while, but ultimately fell to 24th. Christian Lundgaard struggling a little bit, 1.4 seconds off the pace. And Tatiana Calderon struggling early on here in her first street course attempt, 2.6 seconds off the pace for AJ Foyt. So, wow. It's kind of tough with these kind of shortened weekends because with only one practice session, that's not a whole lot of data to go off of. Again, thankfully, I covered the testing, so I have a little bit more of a baseline to kind of say, X, Y, or Z might happen. I think the obvious prediction was that Grosjean, Herta, and Pagenaud would be the strongest coming into St. Petersburg. They're 3 of the first 4, and then, of course, Will Power, street course master, one of the best to ever do it on the street courses. So the interesting thing, I think, to follow this weekend, well, number one, can Herta be beaten? And it certainly seems like the guy who is primed in pole position to do that is Romain Grosjean. Will he be able to do it, though? We'll have to see. I think it's going to be a fascinating IndyCar season. This is just day one. We've got about, 6-7 months to go, plus the Indy 500. I hope you guys will stick with me. Subscribe for more motorsport content. This has been David Land on YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow for qualifying in the next video.